All right. Hi, everyone. A very good morning to all of you from Mangalam University. Today, we are back with another webinar, and today's topic is one of the most loved, all about physiotherapy. And we have one of our favorite faces with us today again, Dr. Mamta Shankar. She will be the speaker for the day. And congratulations to her. She's also the school coordinator for School of Physiotherapy. And Dr. Bernali, who is someone who has just joined us, but we can see her zeal for work, and she will be moderating today's session. So Dr. Bernali, on to you, and all the best for the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Jyoti. Well, a very warm good morning and a very warm welcome to each one of you who have joined with us today. I am Dr. Bernali Bhattacharjee, working as an assistant professor at Mangalam University. Well, I, on behalf of Mangalam University and School of Physiotherapy and Rehabilitation Sciences, welcome every one of you once again. Well, today we are here for the webinar on the topic Scope of Physiotherapy and Rehabilitation at national and international level. Well, physiotherapy is a branch of modern medical science that has spread its wings far and beyond. It is a holistic way of rehabilitation, which actually needs no introduction nowadays. But still, as we go with the topic of scope of physiotherapy in rehabilitation, there are many aspects of physiotherapy which still is under the veil and needs to be covered. Well, to uncover all those aspects of physiotherapy and its scope at the national and the international level, we have amongst us our very own favorite HOD and the school coordinator of School of Physiotherapy and Rehabilitation Sciences, Dr. Mamta Shankar. Well, Dr. Mamta Shankar is a skilled physiotherapist and a passionate teacher with an excellent and outstanding academic record and international exposure in clinical academic settings in different aspects and parts of the globe. She completed her BSc Honours in Physical Therapy from the Institute for the Physically Handicapped, Delhi University in 2002. She achieved rank 1 in the general category in the entrance exam exam for MSPD from Guru Nanak Dev University, Amritsar, and completed her master's in 2005. She has also had international diploma in actuatherapy from Denmark. Post that, she has worked in university in Gulf Medical University, which was one of the first medical college in the Gulf region. Post that, she has come back to India, and she had joined Mangalam University in the year 2019. So since then, she had been working relentlessly for the department, and she is also one of the most loved anchors and moderator and speaker for Mangalam University. We are really privileged and honored to have you amongst us, ma'am. As we must have realized by this time, she has got international exposure as well as national exposure. So that actually makes her the ideal person to address this aspect of today's webinar. So I again welcome ma'am, and the session is all yours, ma'am. Please take over the session.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bernali and Jyoti ma'am, for such a glowing introduction. I love to talk about physiotherapy, and it gives me great pleasure to address our audience today. Students who are interested in physiotherapy, parents who are looking for career options for their children, and anybody who's interested in the scope of physiotherapy as well as rehabilitation sciences in the coming future. So what we would like to cover today is what physiotherapy really entails and what all we can do in order to ensure that as educators, we make sure that the students who are going to be pursuing physiotherapy, they would be ready for tomorrow, for the jobs of tomorrow, for the future that is in front of them, and of course for the changing world. Right. So first of all, what I want to tell you all is just some basics about physiotherapy. As Bernali ma'am had said, the profession has come a long way in the past few years. At the entry level, you have a Bachelor of Physiotherapy program. So that answers the question of how do you become a physiotherapist. We have a 4.5-year degree program, which consists of 4 years of study and then 6 months of internship in a hospital. Uh, Currently, the eligibility for entering the Bachelor of Physiotherapy program is a PCB, Physics, Chemistry, Biology. We do have separate entrance exams for different colleges, for different universities. Universities like ours conduct their own entrance exam and then a panel interview as well. What we need to ensure is that the world today is all about skills. So the marks that you get, when you're in school, everything is about marks in this subject, marks in that subject. But your professional life is built on your skills. So we need to ensure that you have the kind of personality, the kind of empathy, compassion that a student would need in order to have a successful career. See, we are not just giving a degree, right? That you come in, you study, pass, have a degree. We want you to build a career. And for that, it is really important to understand how to incorporate the skills that you have and build on them in order to have a successful career. Physiotherapy is an autonomous healthcare profession. That means that we can work without referrals. And that makes us a very, let's say, lucrative option as a career perspective. Because right after BPT, once you've got your degree, you've done your internship, in case you're in a state like ours or Delhi, you need to take a license. Once you have that, then you can open up your own clinic. You can go and work in a hospital. You are autonomous or independent. So that independent health practice forms the backbone of physiotherapy, that we are there right from, diagnosis to the assessment to, making sure that we make a treatment plan, which like that we deal with treatment. So we are compatible with a traditional medicine, with modern medicine. So no matter what kind of treatment the patient is undergoing, whether it is a traditional medicine perspective, because we believe in healing the whole body, we do take into account different systems, or whether you're doing a surgery, whether you're following a particular pattern, you don't want to do drugs, you only want to do organic healing, whatever it is. Physiotherapy finds a place with all of these. It is compatible with all of these. And I think that makes us, more popular also with the patients. Isn't that right, Banali ma'am? That
Absolutely,
all our
ma'am.
patients
Absolutely.
also feel that
Absolutely.
there are no restrictions.
Exactly. Exactly, ma'am. Ma'am, as you have told about the eligibility and all, so I would also like to know what will be the scope of physiotherapy after they complete their graduation.
Right. So if we can just go through the broad aspects of what all a student can do once they have got their BPT degree. Now, the most obvious and the most common, or say a majority of the students, will go in for clinical physiotherapy. Now, that involves that either you go and work in a hospital, you work for a specialty physiotherapy clinic, right? And you are seeing patients every day. That is your clinical practice in either in a hospital or in a specialty clinic or a nursing home, or you have old age homes. Everybody is now requiring that you need to have a physiotherapist on board. um, Apart from working for an institution, the student also has now the professional, sorry, has the option to work in their own private practice. Now, as teachers or as seniors in the profession, we would also always counsel the student not to start private practice immediately. You should get some experience, work in a hospital, work in a setup where you see a lot of different scenarios. We have medical legal issues coming up. Somebody who doesn't have experience and opens up their private practice can have those issues, but it is one of the most satisfying to have your own private practice where you are your own boss. So that is also a very attractive part. Sports physiotherapy, I'm a sports physio myself, so I've seen this grow and how, because now you have not just um, the major leagues or the international teams as we see. You also have sports physiotherapists catering to what we call weekend warriors. So I know where I live in a society, you have these groups of people who get together over the weekends. They'll play cricket, they'll play football, and then all of them need physiotherapy because you're not doing the training that the athlete does. And this advent of, we've seen over the past few years, people have become very conscious about their health, about fitness and all. But it often doesn't follow a very structured pattern. So sports physiotherapy is finding a place not just in the traditional, the sports authority and thing, but also small clubs are coming up. And there is a lot of scope for physiotherapy in those, because like I said, physiotherapy doesn't only deal with treatment, but also prevention, because we try to cover the whole gamut from pre to post. So sports physiotherapy, I feel, is still underserved, and there is a huge scope in that. A lot of people would have had a contact with physiotherapists at home, because if you talk about geriatrics, older populations, or even young children, people who are disabled in some way, obviously it becomes very difficult to go for continuous physiotherapy to a center. And after an initial treatment planning, they do want some of the comfort of their home. So home care is also a very upcoming field. Of course, physiotherapists have been providing home care for a long time, but now what we see is that the whole physiotherapy community or the system is recognizing that this is a huge field. So now you actually have, physios use a lot of machines that we'll find in our clinics and all. Now we have companies catering to home care. So you have compact size that can travel well. You have electrodes that we use, they can be personalized. So a lot of that is coming up. So the scope of home care is also multiplying and exponentially right now. Then there will
Right.
be some students who are interested in further studies, who want to specialize, and they want to go in for education, for research. So I think Barnali ma'am, you and I belong to this category,
Yes.
because we
Yes.
discovered
Very
that,
rightly said.
apart from our, clinical leanings, and much as we like to see and treat patients, we do still do that. But our bent of mind is towards education, towards research, because there will always be those, intellectuals who would want to further the current, base of knowledge.
Right. Very rightly said, ma'am. I would also like to know your opinion. Like after the pandemic, we have seen an era of change in the profession of physiotherapy, particularly related to cardiorespiratory physiotherapy. I'm talking this because I am myself a cardiorespiratory physiotherapist, and I have seen how important cardiorespiratory physiotherapists had become during the time of pandemic. So I would also like you to say something about the scope of physiotherapy in cardiorespiratory.
Absolutely, although you are the expert for that, Dr. Banali, but still, yes, we did see, although the pandemic caused such havoc,
Yes.
I must say that it brought in a lot of coverage, a lot of awareness about the importance of physiotherapy. We had, celebrities, we had, politicians, leaders, and, people in your own network who benefited a lot from physiotherapy during the pandemic. And they realized how much it affects, like cardiorespiratory physiotherapists, for example, can reduce your total time spent in the hospital drastically. And not just for COVID, not just during the pandemic, But just because now people have an awareness, I see hospitals who are now, hiring specialists for a particular thing, rather than, oh, we have, this one physiotherapist who can do everything kind of thing. But now there is that increasing scope has come with the awareness that was created during the pandemic time. So yeah, from a profession point of view, we did take a huge leap forwards during the COVID era. A lot of people, again, I was saying that home care is growing exponentially. One reason for that was also during the pandemic, people who had to go for routine physiotherapy, right? They didn't want to go to a hospital. They didn't want to go to a clinic. We have a lot of people who are in the vulnerable group, people who are diabetic, people who are older, and those people. So somebody, who was scheduled for, say, a knee replacement operation, they didn't want to go to a hospital, or their surgeries were, delayed. And then they said, all right, let's take this time to do physiotherapy. And then they realized, oh my God, this is super effective.
Yes,
And then,
exactly.
you tell one person, they'll tell 10 others. And it really grew. I saw it, happening. So in terms of all streams, and especially for cardiorespiratory, because you guys, cardiorespiratory physiotherapists, are so, skilled in a particular field. Earlier, they used to be restricted to hospitals and ICUs. But now it's everybody wants to increase their lung capacity. They know what their lung
Exactly.
capacity is now, right? So it's
Exactly,
been
ma'am.
a silver lining, let's say.
Right. Very rightly said, ma'am. Now that you have told and spoke about the scope of physiotherapy, I would also like you to say, like, how does the student would prepare after they complete this course, and what are the various areas they can opt for?
Right. So once you do your BPT, you do have a number of career options in front of you. Let's always remember that BPT is a graduation degree, right? So after graduation, a number of things that are not even physiotherapy related can also be opted for. So it does open that avenue as well. And this holds true not just for physiotherapy, but all rehabilitation sciences, whether you talk about occupational therapy or speech therapy, there are a gamut of options available. And the scope is only increasing and increasing and increasing, because we talk so much about, the new wave of AI and taking away jobs. Well, we are very safe. When you have a backache, when your neck is hurting, you
Right.
don't want a computer to help you. Then you want somebody to touch you and,
Right. Health cannot be
set you
taken
right.
over by AI.
So yeah, exactly. It can definitely help us.
Yes.
Manali ma'am and I have been, and other faculty members have been talking a lot about AI, and we've recently, we're in the process of publishing a book about it as well. Um, but it's all an adjunct, and nobody can take away the power of our hands. You know? So
Absolutely.
the primary thing that we want to, see, we discussed clinical physiotherapy, of course. Entrepreneurship forms the backbone of career options after physiotherapy, because here is a whole, sea of graduates who will be job creators and not job seekers. And that is the need for tomorrow. We don't need a workforce that is constantly, running around with their degrees in their hands looking for jobs. And physios have that advantage that always the demand will be more than the supply. As soon as you feel that, more physiotherapy colleges have come up, so many more people are doing rehabilitation sciences, so many more graduates are there, and then the awareness goes up. Some, like we had the council come in, so you have some regulation come in, and suddenly the jobs also opened up. So entrepreneurship, I think, would be the backbone of the career options after physiotherapy. However, clinical physiotherapy is what keeps, I think, the country running and fit. There are a lot of career options in research and development, and I don't only mean a sort of academic research leading to clinical practice. I also want to cover, the vendors who make our machines. They are constantly looking for people who have a bent of mind with maybe some experience or maybe some interest in physics, in electronics. So those students who during their BPT had that kind of bent of mind or had that interest in them, they would do very well with R&D, because the industry wants people who are skilled, who need you know, another avenue apart from your typical clinical physiotherapy or opening up your own clinic. And if you find the correct fit, then there is no stopping you. Then of course there is academics as well. um, Again, you come to know by, I think, the third year of physiotherapy, these options that are in front of you, you have experienced or met somebody who's been doing all this, right? And you come to know where your interest lies and what are your particular talents also. That is also very important for you to be able to see that these are your particular talents. And that is why we encourage that we push you in that direction. So whether you become an academician, whether you become a sports physio, whether you go into R&D, you must make sure that the career options are limitless. These are just a few common ones, but they are limitless. I haven't told you about the I have a friend who decided after doing BPT that I don't want to treat patients. And for a physiotherapist to feel that I don't want to, he didn't like them. Uh, And now what do you do? Well, doesn't matter. There are n number of career options after BPT. So he did, like an MBA in healthcare management, hospital management kar rahe hain. There's so many other courses that are linked and that require the kind of knowledge and skills that you have got studying your medical subjects, studying your clinical subjects. A BPT is a very well-rounded, knowledge base. So then when you go into one of these allied branches, even if you don't want to pursue your everyday normal physiotherapy, there are so many other options. So I feel that, doing a BPT gives you a very good base, even though this is a professional degree. If you, for some reason, if you were not able to utilize it, doesn't matter. There are n number of other options also available.
Very rightly said, ma'am. Ma'am, well, I would like to say something over here. Like at the end of the day, we all work for money. Like previously, we had seen a craze of the population of physiotherapy who had been studying, like they used to move abroad, but the scene has changed now. We see that the students or the professionals who were working internationally they try to come back to their own nation and work over there. So how do you want to see this aspect, and what do you want to say something on this?
Absolutely. In my college, I'll tell you, Dr. Barnani, we used to have a joke that, of course, I'm talking more than 20 years ago. So we used to have this joke that the graduation party is going to be at the airport, because everybody used to just go abroad, right? But now it's not the case anymore. But I would like to say that it's not because the scope abroad has reduced. It's because the scope nationally has grown so much. So you do have a lot of people who are still going abroad, but they're not going abroad because there are no jobs here. They're going abroad for, this particular thing that I want to work in is best in this university around the globe. So I would like to do this. It's very different now. So even though the international scope is still there, however, the numbers, I think, or the percentage maybe, has definitely reduced. You're right in that. Because see, internationally also, there is a huge demand for skilled professionals. And here I really want to tell all the students who want to opt for a career in rehabilitation sciences, there are certain skills that you must have, that you must possess, the knowledge and skills that you gain during your the course of your study, or the ones that you are naturally endowed with. These are the ones that are going to make or break your career, let's say. there is a lot of scope for these highly trained, highly skilled professionals. The world over, Indians are recognized as having a lot of empathy. They are recognized as being soft. They do, you know, we do have a lot of goodwill, let's say. So when we do move abroad, we need to carry these with us. We need to carry our culture. We need to carry these particular skills with us. And then there is a huge demand. But yes, if you say that, oh, just because I have done this particular course, I should just get a lot of money or a lot of jobs or opportunities. It doesn't work like that, right? Now, the options that people have to go abroad um, would include, I think, most commonly would be higher studies. Now, in India also, one of the options that you have is to do a specialization, choose some, like a master's degree program. If you do the same thing from another country, it just makes it easier for you to get the license of that country, a better or wider job prospects from that country. So higher studies will always be an option. I have so many, of my classmates who moved to Canada, to the UK, and are very, very successful today because they've been integrated well right after they did their higher studies. You do get some sort of like when you have to apply for a license exam, then that also makes a difference. When you have an Indian degree, you need to have the knowledge, the skills, the temperament, the confidence, the personality, the communication skills in order to clear those exams, in order to make sure that um, the person who's examining you thinks that you're an asset. So in terms of any job, communication skills is very important, networking is very important, your confidence is very important, and these are the things that form an integral part of our training as well. So for those of you who plan to emigrate, physiotherapy is still a great career option, even though we see that the national scope has increased drastically. I would know in the last 10 years, I've seen so many people who would choose to, do their higher studies or, come back, like Dr. Bernali was saying, and, be very happy with the prospects here as well.
Right, very rightly said, ma'am. We already have few questions coming up. There is someone who is asking like, what is so unique and special about Mangalam University, and why would anyone like to opt for Mangalam University for their career choice? In the
Absolutely.
meantime,
Dr. Bernali, so you they've asked me a question that that is very close to my heart because when I established the physiotherapy department here at KR Mangalam University, the vision was very clear. We needed students who would add to the workforce, who would be integrated members of the healthcare team. They needed to be future ready. So at KR Mangalam University, we make sure that each student understands that it comes from all of us really, that you have to be proud of your profession, you have to love what you're doing, and then you transmit it further to the students as well. So we focus at KR Mangalam, we focus a lot on clinical training. Clinical training starts right from second year, but of course we do give an orientation to the students right from the get-go. So our curriculum is mandated by the Haryana State Council for Physiotherapy. So there are very few colleges and universities that get approved. So we are one of them, and we follow the annual pattern of assessment, the evaluation pattern. So that is very, very standardized. That's a very good thing for the profession itself and for colleges to have a streamlined and equal or equitable, the curriculum. However, what we do specially to ensure that apart from what they are mandated by the curriculum, what are we doing? That is a very, very rigorous clinical training. Now, what we have done at KR Mangalam is we've tried to find out where are the lacunae. Now, we all sat together, we had discussions with experts, we had discussions with the clinics, the hospitals, that, when a student comes to you who's a fresher, what is lacking in them? So we always say that communication skills are a very, very important part of your professional career, but we don't really teach them during the course of our in the syllabus. So we said, all right, all of our evaluations will now incorporate communication skills into them. Our students have to be confident in dealing with patients independently. They have to be confident and instill that confidence into a patient. So, all right, so they go to hospitals, they go to specialty clinics, and they get to see a lot of different types of patients, and some of the students have very interesting stories to tell, because it's not just your knowledge that you need. Professionalism also is very important. So they go to a hospital here, and the first day that the students went for training, they were all sent back. डांट के वापस भेज दिया that you're not wearing the correct type of clothes, my दाढ़ी बड़ी हुई है, तुमने capris पहने हुए हैं. They were sent back, and I was so happy because they got to learn. And they're like, oh, ma'am, but then they said this, and then we got scolded for this. I'm like, that's great, because then you understand, you look around. Are those people walking around like that? No, they're all very professionally done. No, but then the other hospital that we went to, they didn't care about what we wore. I said, you know what? The real world is like this only. Some places are like this, some places are like that. You'll have to find your place into the real world. And that, I feel, is the crux of our training, that we need you to be absolutely sure that you're going to enter into the real world, that you are not ready for the real world of today, but for the future also. So I think that is also an advantage of being a part of this multidisciplinary university, that you get to learn not just your own departmental skills, but you're also, like our students are doing projects with the engineering department, with they're doing something with mechanical engineering, they're doing something with the journalism and mass communication. They'll get exposure to different things. We're working with agriculture people. So they do combine, projects together, or they'll work on some clubs or societies together, and eventually they develop a personality that is very well rounded. So that, I think, is really, really important as well. So when our students, and we also, clinical training that is mandated, that you're going to a hospital, you're going to the clinic, that is one thing. But again, we try to find out, what does the industry want? So today in the industry, when we try to see that what are the kind of jobs that keep coming up, we found that, like Dr. Barnali was saying, that eventually, a lot of people will work for maximum highest placement. What are the maximum kind of this thing? Now, what uh, students who are opting for a career in healthcare must understand is that it's very, very different from, say, an IT professional. After 10 years, after 15 years, they might get outdated. They might get replaced by younger people. It's the opposite for us. That the more you work, the more you learn, the more experience you have, um, your experience keeps getting more and more solid, and your career prospects, your jobs, your salaries, your options, they keep on increasing incrementally. So the jobs that are available today, or will be available, say, in the next 2-3 years, have to deal with pediatrics, with neurology. For some reason, the students for the past 5 years or 7 years opted more for orthopedics. And I'll tell you why this happened, because there was a lot of technological innovation going on in the kind of surgeries that were happening, in the kind of rehab that was happening. So naturally, more kind of jobs opened up. Now, if a lot of people, a bulk of people went there. So what we've done is that we are reverse engineering, trying to figure out that these are the jobs and skills that will be required 5 years down the line. There is a hole that has been created due to the needs of the market at that time. So what do the future physiotherapists need to do? They need to know pediatrics. And do they have exposure currently? Very little. So last summer, in fact, our students went for a camp to Solon for muscular dystrophy, which in their normal, course of this thing, they wouldn't have had exposure to. So they keep doing a lot of those things, and that happens because we've preempted and figured out what requires, not today, not tomorrow, but 3 years down the line. Similarly, we have like the university has an entrepreneurship and incubation cell. And usually you will find they have like a proper Shark Tank type of atmosphere where you pitch your startup ideas and all the students will come up with some ideas. And what we realized was that a lot of those, I think most of them were from the tech field, from the IT field, and from the developing new technology or something. But last a few months ago, some physiotherapy students also started their own startup, went for that Shark Tank Valley meeting, and did get their funding started by KR Mangalam University. So they're doing a lot of these kind of uh, extracurricular is a very small word for this, but a lot of options that are being opened up for our students because number one, we are very passionate about our profession. We are visionaries in the sense that we've charted out what needs to be done for the future, and then we make sure that we follow through and we prepare our students the best we can. So that I would say is, what is so special about physiotherapy at KR Mangalam.
Thank you, ma'am. Very rightly said. We already have few questions pouring in. I would like to request the participants to please write down the question in the chat box, or if you have got connected with us through Facebook, please write a comment on the Facebook so that we can read up your questions. There is someone who is asking about the scholarships which are available in the university, ma'am. If you would like to give a little bit of talk on
Right. So there are a number of scholarships that are available for meritorious students. There are two types of merit-based scholarships, one on the basis of your 12th marks and one on the basis of the CGPA that you get once you're enrolled. Then we are also offering scholarships on the basis of CUET, and there are a number of other benefits that you can get. So that is something that you definitely must explore. You need to sit with your profile, talk to an admissions counselor, and figure out which one would be most beneficial for you. So definitely, the merit-based scholarships go up to 100% of the fees. So that is definitely something that should be explored.
Well, thank you so much, ma'am. Still, I would like to request the students to keep pouring in the questions. In the meantime, I would like to talk a bit about our university and what makes us so unique from the other universities of Delhi NCR and globally. So, as you can see in this slide, we have 12 schools which is spread across a large green campus. We have more than 4,000 students now. And here we inculcate a multidisciplinary approach. Now, what does I mean by multidisciplinary approach here is the students from various departments, like students from SPRS or SMAS, they go and collaborate and do projects from other departments like agriculture, journalism, engineering. So they get to have a collaborative quality of each other, and we imbibe qualities of each other. So this is what actually makes us so unique and different from other universities. So apart from that, we also have a very beautiful infrastructure that is fully air conditioned with residential facilities for the students. Here, I will also like to add on one point regarding the transport facility. Trust me, I can vouch for that. You will not find such good transfer facility across Delhi NCR from any university, because I am myself the one who is using the transport, and this is one such aspect which is neglected by most of the universities and colleges, which later on students take admissions, but later on they have problems in commuting. So you will not find any such problems here. The transfer facility is very good. So there is no problem with timing. Can just get boarded on the bus on time and be board exactly at the distinct time for the university. So as you can see here, we have various courses that are available here. So what I would like to request the students to just go to the website, and you just a click away, you will get to know all the various courses that are available from our university web page. And I would like to highlight some points here. Like, we have a number of courses which are run with academic support with the industry giants, like BTech CSC with AI and ML, which is your artificial intelligence and machine learning, is run with an academic support of Symmetrics and IBM. Meanwhile, our mechanical engineering is run with academic support with Siemens. So how does it make different? What is the difference? So difference occurs during the time of placement. So here I would like to give an example. Most of the time what happens after we graduate and after we go for job. So हमें कभी-कभी सुनने में आता है कि your course, you have done the degree, but still there is some lacuna that is there. So what we have to do is we have to add on some bridge course. So we do that bridge course, and then by that time your peers or friends are getting the job. So here what we are doing at Mangalam University is, during the time of your course only, we are bridging that gap with the academic support of industry giants like Siemens and IBM and Symmetrics. So you already have the knowledge of what is actually going on globally. So it gives a boost to your career, and directly you are placed immediately after you complete your graduation. So likewise, we have in our SPRS, SMAS, so we have vigorous clinical training, we have research projects, we have internship programs where the students actually excel in their fields, and when they come out, so they come out really like metals. So this is what I want to say about Mangalam University. So if you are interested, please go through the website and see the various courses which you are interested, and you can contact us anytime. So this is what I was talking about. We have industry collaboration, as you can see, you name it, we have it. So we have IBM, we have National Stock Exchange, we have Siemens. I said, you name it, we have it. So we have industry collaboration with all these industry giants. So there will be no looking back if you join Mangalam University. Now, this is something which is in hype nowadays, which is National Education Policy. So we at Mangalam University, we follow this National Education Policy. Now, what is this NEP? So NEP 2020 actually deals with flexibility, multilingualism. It is about multidisciplinary approach again. It is not about, see, previously kya hota tha? You must have heard sometimes, due to some financial constraints or due to some reason, if any candidate or if any student would not be able to complete a degree, they would be called as interrupted, like BCom interrupted, BTech interrupted. But National Education Policy has changed everything. They have said, if you have devoted your time to certain course, you are definitely going to get certain merit-based certificates. Okay, so it completely depends upon us, and it completely depends on the student. Okay, how he or she wants to adapt to that particular programs. And as we can see, we have multiple entry and exit. So this is what I was talking about. What does this multiple entry and exit means? We can, if there is anyone who just could not complete the course of a 4-year or 3-year degree program, but wants to quit after 1 year. So you are going to get a certificate after completing 1 year in a discipline or a field. Okay, so likewise, a bachelor's degree will be given if you are completing a bachelor's degree will be given only when you complete the 3 years or the 4 years bachelor program that it is meant to be. Okay, if you are interrupting in between, you will not be called as an interrupted BPT or interrupted BCom graduate. You will be given a certificate or a diploma program depending upon the number of years you have completed the program. So it is completely based on the credit-based academic system. And this is one more thing which is incorporated by Mangalam University, which is SDG goals. So this, as we were actually applauded by the Center of Excellence recently for following the SDG goals. So which is not much followed by most of the universities. We follow each and every criteria of SDG goals, and we incorporate that into our pedagogy and curriculum. And that makes us really unique in formulating our curriculum and syllabus. So we have number of programs which we also do for gender sensitization and gender equality. We every now and then promote webinars, which is something which is related to quality education, sustainability. Okay, we are always there for helping students of meritorious background who are not able to complete their course financially. Okay, we give full assistance. As ma'am has already said, we have many scholarship programs running here. So you can, if you have any doubt, you can come. You can. We are just a phone call away, or we are just a click away. So if you have any doubt with that, you can just drop a mail or a phone. Now, this is something which is very, very, very interesting. As ma'am has already said this, we believe in job creation. We do not believe in job seeking. So Mangalam University is a university who always encourages students to become an entrepreneur. So we develop an entrepreneurship abilities in the students who can actually have their own startups after they complete their graduation. So we mold them we train them so skillfully that after they are graduated, they are so confident and they have already worked with the industry experts, as I have already mentioned. So they have got the knowledge how things run globally, and they have their own startups. There are few students of us in our alumni who have already have their startups, and they are so successful. So this is something which Mangalam University always emphasizes, or that is entrepreneurship. Now, we also have Center of Excellence in Robotics and Automation, and this is done in collaboration with IIT Bombay. So there are various projects that were done in collaboration with IIT Bombay. What does that mean? That means we have trained and gem faculties. We have faculty like stalwarts from the industry of IIT and IIT Bombay who come and teach our students, and collaboratively we work for projects. Okay, there were a few projects on drones which were seen to map in and around the areas for water issues that were happening in and around the region of Mangalam. So our university was also awarded as Class A by the IIT Bombay for completion of task-based training. Now, we just do not believe in a classroom teaching. Gone are the days when there was only chalkboard teaching and classroom teaching. So we have moved from classboard to smartboard, from smartboard to our extension activities. In the extension activities, we have various health camps, we have various health societies where we train the students directly to the villages. We have adopted some villages. The Gamru village is one such example where we take care of the health needs of the villagers. We go there, we screen them, we train them, we give them treatments, and we learn directly at the community based. So life that is beyond the academics, and Mangalam emphasizes on that, as it is not just study. We have various extracurricular activities also going on parallelly in the university. One such highlighting aspect is the mentor-mentee program, which is one of the most important aspects. Whenever a student takes admission, each and every student is given a mentor who will be guiding the students throughout their course, throughout their tenure in the university, who will be taking care of their skills, who will try to emphasize on their academic excellence, extracurricular excellence, if they have any problems or issues with academics, they come up to the mentors who are being helped by the mentors, and they are guided and offered help at their own pace of time. We have already industry connections with the industry giants. We have already mentioned about this. We have got collaboration with IBM, Siemens, where the various industries, where the students already get lots and lots of exposures with the globally what is happening with the what is happening globally, so that they can go beyond after they complete their graduation. We have Community Connect. We directly go and do outreach programs to the villages. Apart from that, we have various clubs. So to name a few, we have the Chetna Society, which deals with the skills and which helps in enhancing the life skills like yogas and meditations. We have E-Yantras, which we have already mentioned. We have NSS group, which we have eco clubs, we have cultural clubs, which have health societies, we have literary clubs. These are the various clubs and societies which are present in the university, which helps in the overall growth and development of the student. So hostel and sports, we have fully residential facilities available. We have a sports campus. The students who are staying in the residential facilities, they have everything inside, so they do not have. We have canteen. We have 3-4 canteens here. We have CCD. We have Nescafes. We have, you name it, we have it. So you will not be having any problem if you are taking admission in Mangalam University with respect to your hostels or sports arenas. Apart from that, I have already mentioned about the transport thing, so which is also very important aspect. So you will definitely, I can vouch for that, you will not get any complaint from the transport department ever. So we have international exposures of the students at Mangalam University. So these are the various universities with which Mangalam University has collaborated with. So these are name of the few universities which the university has collaborated. And recently, these few students have gone to Cardiff University, and they have gone to Bristol for their academic exchange programs, and students have really returned with lots of skills enhancement and academic growth. Now, regarding the placements, there is 100% placement assistance. We also have a placement cell over here. So they give complete career guidance and placement assistance for all the students. We have around 95% of placement records in Mangalam University. So already when the students are graduating, they have all the knowledge and skills, which actually helps them to get into the job. And these are name of the few recruiters who actually comes and who hire our students. So these are the real wealth of our Mangalam University, who actually quote us when they are earning or when they are excelling in their fields. So these are the scholarships which are available in the universities. So if you have any doubt, we have connections, or we have directly collaborations with major banking sectors. So if you want to take loans, you will get 100% assistance for that. We also have scholarship facilities. So if you are interested, you can just give a call, and you will be guided throughout how to do that. So regarding the admission procedure, it is very easy. It is just a click away. You have to start the application online. If you are doing it online, you can also come to the university and do the procedure if you are not very convenient with the online procedures. So basically, for the people nowadays, everyone is aware of the online and the website surfing. So if you just have to start with the application, you have to make the payment, and it's done. You have to submit the application. So there is entrance test that is conducted. After you are through with the test, and we also conduct a face-to-face interview. So after you are through with that, you will be enrolled to the course. That's easy. So thank you very much. So if you have again any doubt, any queries, anything that is related to physiotherapy, or anything that is related to the university, or any other course that you want to enroll, so I would like to request you all to just drop in a message at the email that is provided kschoolconnect@krmangalam.edu.in, or you can call us at 011 4888888. So you will get all the assistance. And even if you want to talk to any subject expert, like if you're interested in physiotherapy and if you want to talk to any of the concerned faculties, we are always there to help you. So we will be telling you about everything that you have doubt, you have any doubt, or if you are interested in any other courses, if you want to talk with BTech, or if you want to hospital, or if you want to talk with hotel management or fashion, if you're interested in fashion or journalism, anything, you name it, we have it. We have all the courses available at KRMU with ample residential facility and transport. There is no problem that I can vouch. Okay, so this is something with which I would like to conclude the session. In the meantime, if we have some other questions to pour in, Jyoti ma'am, is there any other questions here?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Bernali ma'am, for that amazing session about the university presentation. Dr. Mamta, we have a question for you here. Someone has asked me that if I'm studying PCM instead of PCB and I'm applying for my BTech exams and everything, would I still be eligible to apply for physiotherapy?
Right. So, Jyoti ma'am, currently we still have PCB as a requirement.
Okay.
With the changing scenario, with the NEP coming in, we do hope to have different options available. But as of now, no, you do need a PCB. However, if you do want to go in for healthcare, there are other options available. B Farm, for example, if you want to do in pharmaceutical, then you can do it with either PCM or PCB. But for
So either of
BPT,
them
no,
is
it's just,
relevant.
yeah,
Okay.
PCB is essential because we are
Okay, ma'am.
mandated by the council and we follow their guidelines. Yeah.
All right, ma'am. We have one more question which has come, and I think this is the only other question that we got. And it is an important one as per me. The student is asking that can I enter this division of hospitals if I have some other degree? Is there any way for me to enter the medical healthcare if I do not have any
Absolutely.
kind of
Yeah,
medical degree?
that's a very pertinent question because a lot of times, Jyoti ma'am, what happens is that the career choices of a student are initially decided by a number of other factors apart from the student's choice themselves. We have parents saying ki you should do this and this is better and Chachi ji's son has done this and you should do that. And you find yourself in a situation where you have a degree not related to healthcare, but there are a number of options that you can still, if you enjoy or are interested in healthcare, then you can do, if you have a graduation, then you can go in for an MBA. Hospitals today, if you go in, you will see that there is a structure where you have your doctors who are the primary healthcare,
Providers. Yeah.
the healthcare providers,
Yes.
but you have so many other people who are required in order to help the running and functioning of, say, a big hospital. Will have a finance
Right.
division, they will have PR and marketing, they even have, they have nutrition, dietetics, you have an entire management division. There are so many other roles that are fulfilled which still keep you connected to healthcare. There are
Yeah.
also a number of certificate courses that you can do in order to gain some skills. You have people who, the people who come and take your blood to run tests and stuff. You have specialized courses. Those are certificate programs that you can enroll in. So there are a number of aspects of health that you can do. In case you are a more technologically friendly person, in the future there is going to be a huge need for tech savvy people in order to
Okay.
interpret. What happens is that the training for doctors is so difficult. One of the first things that we tell aspirants for physiotherapy as well is that आपको किसी ने ये नहीं कहा होगा कि मेडिकल की पढ़ाई आसान होती है. So it's very difficult to do all that. You will find that very experienced, very skilled, very knowledgeable people are completely tech blind. they don't know anything, they don't know how to deal with it, but the future is in technology.
Yes.
So there is a huge need for people to bridge the gap where you will be able to have a little bit of healthcare knowledge and some technical knowledge as well.
All right. Ma'am, what are the future plans for the School of Physiotherapy for maybe starting a master's or a PhD program?
Yes.
Are there any future plans for the same?
Jyoti ma'am, yes, we will be starting with a master's program, not this year, the next year, when uh, these are again mandated by our council, and we follow those directives. So we will be offering a master's program in physiotherapy, of course. We will be offering different specializations. And like I said, whatever we plan with a vision. So we are currently in the process of identifying the needs for 4 years from now, 2 years from now, that kind of thing, in order to ensure that we have the best specializations available, and then we will accordingly develop our in keeping that. So masters, yes, definitely, but we are also exploring a number of these courses that I was talking to you about a hospital management or a clinical. There are so many other options like occupational therapy, speech therapy, prosthetics, orthotics, and in combination with technology. So we have lots of plans to expand this department. We're getting a great response so far between 2019 and today. You would have seen how the department has grown in terms of number of students, in terms of the faculty, our contributions towards research, towards academics. And it feels great that today the students are appreciated. When the hospitals that they're training in, they call us back and say ki aapke bacche bahut polished hain. And we don't need to train them further. It feels great to know that, and we hope to continue with this momentum that we've created.
Yeah. Amazing, ma'am. We just have one last question. So our topic itself is talking about the Indian studies and the international scope. So one student has asked that in case if I pursue my physiotherapy from here and it is regulated by Haryana Council, so would it be counted if I apply for, let's suppose, a PR to Australia or New Zealand or Canada? And do I need to sit for another validation certificate from their end, or would my certification from the country will survive?
Right. So Jyoti ma'am, in order to practice in any country, you need a license exam. So if you had done your bachelor's from Australia, you would need to get certified by Haryana Council. So similar thing happens when you haven't studied from an affiliated or approved college. So naturally, you will need for exam. One of the things that our course curriculum, etc., stand muster internationally. The only thing is that in order to make the process easier, the students should, while they're processing their application and everything, don't go after money initially, like we had discussed earlier, and get some hospital. There is different licensing authorities have different requirements, but the common thread that runs through is that you should have experience in a multi-speciality hospital. So choose a hospital that has say 200 beds, and do 2 years there, and that will open the doors for a lot of these licensing exams.
Amazing, ma'am. Thank you so much for answering the questions with so much of depth. Barnali, ma'am, thank you so much again for doing the session so well. And Mamta, ma'am, it's always amazing to have a webinar with you. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending. Thank you so much, IT team, for helping us out. And have a great day ahead. Have a great weekend ahead. And we hope to see you some other time soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.